Right before I started to read, I heard Beyonce's song "Ring the Alarm." Ring the alarm. I've been through this so long. I've been through this too long. Okay, but it's definitely giving a rage energy. Somebody, I guess somebody can feel betrayed, tricked. Some individuals, some of us actually was, but I feel like this is just this energy is present. So if something was done to you, if somebody betrayed you and you were supposed to like really, 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 really crash out, it's something about your self-control and discipline that's necessary. Okay, you could have diffused a lot of your upset in private opposed to this energy that I just picked up on. But yeah, there's also something here about suspicions around addiction or certain addictions and stuff, rumors being leaked about a certain addiction in regards to a person or, whomever, a group maybe, somebody. And this person or these individuals, they were definitely denying it, but there were also times where they admitted to it. It's something about hallucinations, paranoia, delusion, the side effects of whatever the addiction is. Yeah, so I don't know, like it could also be witchcraft or spell works that backfire. So this if this is somebody who engages in spell work or witchcraft, or if they are addicted to doing witchcraft or black magic to manipulate scenarios in their favor, that can also serve as an addiction. It's something about somebody slipping up, leaving something behind, some type of evidence, okay, and getting caught up, right? So if there was heavy denial, I feel like in a moment of like emotional upset, somebody could have admitted to it or revealed it or kind of weaponized their use of engaging in something or doing something and blaming it on like maybe the people who leaked the rumors or just blaming it on people stressing them out or being fake or some shit like that. But they try to blame it and play victim on someone else as to why they are engaging in the addiction. Okay. And they could have also, it's something about these individuals around them possibly suffering due to other behaviors or other things connected or derivative from whatever this addiction is. Now, like I said, this could be an actual substance, this could be an activity, this could be a mindset, this could be a behavior, tendencies, whatever, okay? This could literally be somebody addicted to doing magic, okay? It's something about heavy codependency on whatever this is, and they just honestly feel like they needed to cope. They feel like they needed to cope, even if it's witchcraft, even if it's love spells, even if it's because it's something about the high that you get. So the high that people get from doing love spells and initially getting the results that they felt like they wanted is definitely equivalent to the high of doing drugs, like substance drugs, right? Because it's still temporal, okay? Regardless of the time duration, at the end of the day, you do the drug because you want to feel, you want to embody a certain energy, a certain mood, right? So yeah, so definitely, I just heard nervous. Somebody's nervous or something about someone's nervous system. I heard nervous system breakdown as well. Okay. But I got this confirmation because there was a person where it was communicated to me that, this person does a particular drug or something. And even though I had suspicions around just paying attention to this person's like bodily movements and their eye contact, their like like kind of like a jitterbug type of energy, antsy. So I suspected something was off about the person earlier on, and basically like it kind of came out, like, and I guess divine timing. through somebody who knows that person more than I do. And that person kind of denied it, but they kind of went back and forth from denial to admitting it if they were in like a high concentrated emotional energy. I'm gonna just say this: I went to go to the gym the other morning, and boom, there it was. There it was, a bag of this particular drug right there on the ground. Full bag, and I'm like, well, damn, ain't no denying that. You feel me? And it was crazy because even though I don't really have much knowledge about that particular drug, because I'm not talking about weed, like this is a hard drug, okay? And I guess it fell out of their pocket or something, and they didn't realize it. So when I went out early that morning, I saw it lying there on the ground in the parking lot, and I was just like, I that looks like what I was told that person does, but I'm gonna mind my business. You feel me? And then as somebody who's smoked weed and shit like that, like I know like what the different kind of little baggies and stuff that people use like to sell weed. So it was the same bag, that you would use to sell weed, but it had a different type of drug in it. So it was clearly a drug. It was a druggy bag. You feel me? But anyway, I wasn't supposed to see that shit. I don't even know if that person knows I seen that shit, or even if, because I kept picking up on somebody wondering. So somebody has an inkling that somebody saw something like that they're exposed, like I don't know, like, and they could be moving different or like withdrawing as a result. Like it's like they they sense or they fear that that was seen. So it's definitely giving somebody slipped up, and something was exposed, and the person that may have even trickled upon this information probably didn't even notify the person that they saw the evidence. So it's something about somebody seeing the evidence of somebody's wayward behavior or activities, whatever that they do, you feel me, that they may have already confronted them about and they denied. It's something about them finding this evidence and not saying a word. Okay, like they kind of just took it as confirmation or clarity, right? Like, okay, I knew that's what was going on. Also, so when I got back to the house yesterday, so I turned my car off, and I'm putting things in my book bag and shit. And I just start hearing like these loud ass slamming noises. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I turn and I look out my window, and there's this guy, he's just in these basketball shorts, barefoot, no shirt, you feel me? Locks, tall, dark skin. Okay, all this could be significant. That's why I went into detail. But anyway, so he was slamming the car doors, like, I mean, extra, extra hard. He was clearly mad. Okay, he clearly wanted to diffuse his anger in that manner, or he wanted to express just how upset he was. Okay, and I mean, he slammed the car doors, he slammed the house door, and I was just thinking to myself, like, I had that brief thought that crossed my mind of how, when we get into that energy of like raging, and we like do everything extra hard and shit because our body is just so thick with that energy, right? And it's like you need a way to diffuse it in a healthy manner, right? Like for example, when I was young, like in high school, bro, I used to run through cell phones, my dog. I used to run through cell phones. Like, do not piss me off, and I have a phone in my hand. Hell no, bro. Like, I ran through cell phones like a motherfucker. Like, yeah, that's just a testimony. But yeah, like, and I was just thinking like how in a fit of rage we can even destroy our own things because we're so upset. Like, we don't even really, it doesn't, we're not really thinking of how we could fuck some shit up in the moment because we're just in this, we're heavily in that energy. So, spirit let me know that somebody's in that energy that, that's just, I don't know, like possibly betrayed a divine collective or whatever. But I feel like this energy is also on both sides, but I feel like there's a divine wrath, and then there's also people who are in agony and torment who trespass divine beings. So, yeah, spirit is also showing me like this arrangement of like projection, transmutation, and alchemy. So let's say some type of low vibing energy was projected onto a divine being, and it manifested, but it didn't manifest in an evil expression. It manifested in a divine expression. So for example, if somebody wanted you to be hurt, depressed, angry, whatever, blah, 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 lonely, all of these things that would really crush them, okay? It's something about you transmuting all of that. So it's like, in essence, it did manifest, but it manifested for your highest good. So, for example, if somebody wanted you to be lonely, you were in solitude, and not only were you in solitude, but you were surrounded by many angels, many divine ancestors, and you're in the Most High. And the thing is, it's something about your connection deepening, your gifts increasing, your wisdom increasing, even through the fire and the hurricane, the tsunami of emotions or whatever that you were in. Is, I don't know, it's just something about a newfound strength from having to swim yourself out of that shit. I don't know, fight out of that fire, bro. Like, and it's given you came out of it unscathed as well on some impossible shit. How the fuck were you in that fire like that and you came out unscathed? There was one of my clients that shared their testimony with me the other day, and I knew again that was spirit using that person. This man had his spine severed from a car accident. It was pretty bad. The car was split, he was split. It was a lot going on. Like, it was a lot going on. But he survived it, and I mean, like, on some miraculous shit. Like, he was not expected to live. He was expected to be paralyzed. He was all that, and he survived that shit. Like, he's not reliant upon any, assistant. Gait Gait means like your walk, the way, you're walking, GAIT. But they didn't, he's not in a wheelchair or anything. Like, he's perfectly fine. And then, he went on to share with me what he feels like is the reason he got into that car accident. Now, his profession, he is is it a trauma specialist or a trauma something, but he works in trauma unit, like the ER, like, type of world, like, especially dealing with like the really, 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 really bad traumatic car accidents. That is literally the field he works in, y'all. Imagine working in that field for years and then you experience a traumatic car accident. Like, this is this guy's testimony, and he said shortly before he got in this accident, he felt like he needed clarity as to whether his wife really loved him, like really fucked with him for real, because clearly there was some behaviors or the lack thereof that made him feel that way or otherwise. So he just wanted God to, like, clarify for him, like, does this person really love me for real, or are they using me, right? So he got in this car accident, and he was just talking about the way her reaction was, and how she responded to the whole situation, like unbothered, unfazed, no excitement at all that he survived for real, just there. Like, it's kind of giving Wednesday, like that, just resting, like, bitch, and just okay. And like, damn, like, either way, like, I would have been cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was saying that's how her energy came off. And so he's recovering. He's going through this recovery period. He's in a wheelchair and all this stuff the next few months. And she divorces him. Yes, y'all. After this tragic accident where he literally could have lost his life after providing everything for her, being very present in the connection and stuff like that. yeah, that's what happened. This is also somebody who shared with me how intuitively and spiritually gifted he is, like how he can see, like, or, communicate with spirits since he was a child, and how he even saved his in laws from a disastrous situation just based off intuition that ended up being confirmed on the news. So I'm saying all this to say, like, this energy is prevalent, like, well, it's it's irrelevant because this has all happened like within like the last 7 days. So number 7 is significant. 555 is heavily significant. It's like it's sevens, fives, and eights that's heavily significant right now, and also tens. So I just saw the 10 of swords and the 10 of wands. But yeah, so if you were supposed to if they wanted you to be this energy of rage and anger, what they kind of wanted you to turn that in on yourself and self-sabotage yourself, like destroy yourself. Whether you took it out on other people, at the end of the day, like, the goal was for you to destroy yourself with that rage and that anger. But in a way, it was almost like, whoo, I don't think I've ever spoken this on my, have I ever spoken this on my channel? Okay, okay, Spirit. So it's giving the Holy Ghost. That fire, that rage, that wrath that you were in is just Spirit said the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost fire and the anointing is something about, just if you imagine a flame growing bigger or a fire expanding, these projections and these actions taken against you to fuel that type of energy out of you, it's like it did build the flame, it did expand the fire, but not in the way that they wanted to, so it ended up fucking them up. It ended up eradicating all evil present in your energy, okay, or around you, or whatever lines, or like, they're literally showing me, like, okay, let me see if I can paint this picture. So they're showing me a person, their energy field, like this big glow bubble around them, transparent, and they're showing me these cords attached to the external aspect of their energetic field, connected to other individuals. But it's like, it's almost like a phone line, like it's like people trying to send shit through this line that they're trying to attach to this person, or that they've attached to this person externally. So it wasn't able to truly penetrate like in the way that they wanted it to. Okay, it was felt, it was acknowledged, and as a result, solution was required. It was eradicated. But I feel like a lot of this have to do with also your spiritual protection. So again, that, oh, somebody wanted you to be alone, feel like nobody, no, whatever. Like, but I'm gonna say this too. There's even like this energy of wanting you to just lose people, lose support. Okay, so like, for example, let's say your following starts to trickle down one by one or something like that. It's something about this energy being created where that's what they want to happen. That's supposed to be what you see, and it's supposed to make you feel some type of way or trigger you. But every time you quote unquote lose somebody, or someone turns away from you, and da da da, whatever, bro. Anytime there's some type of loss, you get some type of increase in the spirit in regard to an ancestor, a divine spirit guide, a divine archangel. It's something that's added to you in the spirit in regards to your community and your protection, your spiritual community. There's also, so whoa, what? Okay, y'all know that when you encounter people, everybody, in a sense, most people, I ain't gonna say everybody, most people have divine and demonic ancestors, right? So those people whom you align with, and let's say they align with you for a chance at redemption, or for you guys to like kind of iron sharpening iron type of connection. But you know how some cases one person may get jealous or intimidated by the other person, right? And you know, so they choose the wrong path. Let's say that person has their divine ancestors, right? That's in full support of them moving, you know, on the divine path. But otherwise, since they don't support evil, they don't support the demonic energy. If you want to choose that demonic energy, okay, like they gonna release you type shit. But it's something about other people's divine ancestors, like other people divine ancestors kind of having a covenant with your divine ancestors and looking out for you. So y'all know how, especially like you're a seer, you're a prophetic dreamer, a reader, whatever the case may be, like how you get messages and clarity about people who has betrayed you, disrespected you, but you get clarity about these people and you know why they did what they did, you know, their karma, you know, your justice. A lot of that intel comes from their divine ancestors as well. Okay, so that's just what it's given, you know. So people, these, I don't know, somebody's very anxious, and this doesn't have to be like them dealing with everything listed, the addictions, the anger and anxiety. It can just be like different individuals in a group. Somebody could be dealing with addictions heavily, somebody could be dealing with anger and rage heavily, somebody could be dealing with anxiety real heavy out of the group. Okay, but and this could even be because these particular people was projecting that particular energy towards you. Okay, so now, again, addictive behavior is like somebody could have just targeted you. Like if it was like addictions to a substance, like they could have been more sensitive. These demons or whatever they open themselves up to could have been like a little bit more sensitive to the desire for your energy, for that light energy, right? Almost like a food or I'm honestly almost like another substance. It's almost like they go to the substance here on earth like for something, but they really open themselves up to spirits or demonic spirits, and then those demonic spirits possess their vessel and they go after the substance that they really crave the most, that they feel is the most valuable and high value, which is the spirit and the energy of a divine being. And the fact that it sound like I said the bind, so they try to bind themselves, and it's there's something here about needing you to accept their invite, their welcome, their attempt to enter or assess you. They need you to accept it, open the door to them, respond to them. Like it's like they need some type of welcoming. Okay, so it's definitely giving resist the devil and he will flee. You know, I experienced this situation where I've been, you know, so provoked for such a significant amount of time with this particular individual that, you know, I kind of just went off. You feel me? Like, even though, you know, I was praying and, you know, like I was speaking spiritually and all of that, I still, you know, reevaluated how even that was too much because it was really not truly necessary, like for real. Like it was, because it happened for a reason, right? But at the same time, the same results can be rendered with less amount of effort, right? Especially for a divine being. Okay, so resist the devil and he shall flee. So resisting something is the least amount of effort from you going back and forth with a person, da 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 da, and they're intentionally talking over you. They're intentionally trying to override, and you know, because they don't want to be accountable. They're intentionally deflecting and projecting, instead of, you know, pouring energy into that, you know, bottomless cup. Why Spirit said bottomless pit? Ooh, instead of pouring energy into the bottomless pit, resist. Resist the devil and he shall flee. So, what else was it? Yes, 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 yes. So, slipping up. Slipping up is something about being messy. It's something about being messy, slipping up and getting caught up, okay, or something being exposed or found out about, okay. So that's what's going on right now. Um, what else did I say? I said slipping. Um, I know I said sliding down the wall. Yeah, well, there was something else I said. Can't remember. Can't remember the other word. What? That is crazy. Y'all basically had me spell ass. So something can be significant about something being exposed about what somebody doing with their ass. Okay, something could be exposed about that. Also AAA, so alcohol addiction, or somebody could be trying to recover from some type of alcohol codependency, or they're doing more or doing better. So also with the addictions energy, right? With the AAA, it's not just people who are being exposed for the addictions. There's also individuals where that used to be their vice, and they're overcoming, they're conquering whatever this addiction was, that, maybe individuals around them that wanted to cause them to descend or keep them from ascending was trying to like toy with them in regards to this addiction, right? It's something about, there are some energies or an energy, okay, in your energy, somebody you connect to or whatever that is recovering. They're choosing sobriety. They're choosing to not be overtaken by whatever this is, or they're acknowledging their behaviors and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It's just something about somebody who is deeply perceptive. Even if somebody may strategically play oblivious, it's something about somebody being very, very perceptive, very insightful, very intuitive. This person could even be a dreamer, okay, could have visions and stuff like that. Somebody could have really tapped into, like, because they have these gifts, they know that if they ask for it from source, it's been given every time they've asked. So they know that they can do that. But it's also giving this energy that somebody tried to resist asking the divine for certain clarity, because they knew they were in the wrong with doing some shit, but spirit still put that shit on them. Like, no, you're not about to hide from this. Spirit was also showing me yesterday about how the story of Adam and Eve hiding, or whatever, when they disrespected God's request. Okay, never mind your beliefs in the Adam and Eve story. At the end of the day, we're talking parables. So yeah, it's something about people trying to hide their faces, or they're trying to hide in shame and stuff like that. That's what I'm also getting to. Like, people projecting that onto you, wishing that for you, wanting you to hide and be shame and be, insecure because of certain events that played out in your life. Like, maybe you lost a job, or maybe somebody betrayed you, switched up on you, humiliated you, did a humiliation ritual. Maybe people was gossiping about you, whatever, gang stalking, ganged up on you, created some false narrative of you to defame your character, your reputation. At the end of the day, if they felt like they needed to do that, that's because you've obtained some type of reputation. Okay? Or there's something about you that's monumental. There's something about you that is remarkable. It's something about you that intimidates them, that triggers something within them to want to destroy that in the first place. So you understand that. That's something, there's things about you, about yourself, that God has grounded and established deeply in your heart, long before some of these people have even met you or encountered you. Okay, so there's that. What the fuck happens outside of you that was not in your life most of your life is like, it's very minute compared to the qualities and traits and gifts and abilities and blessings, okay, the covenant that you have with the divine, that's been far more long standing.
So these are people who waver a lot in faith, or they don't have it at all. And honestly, if you try to attack somebody's faith, you're attacking God directly. That's you're trying at that point, you're challenging God by trying to attack or diminish somebody's faith by way of like adversarial energy. And God said vengeance is his. So it's something about these people wanting you to fight, like fist fight, wanting you to just cause a whole scene. Like, for example, let's say, okay, you did get fired from a job or some shit. Somebody wanted you to fuck up the job, throw shit around and, you know, um, yell and cause a huge outburst and just look crazy and erratic and da 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 da. But it's something about you handling the situation gracefully and just moving forward. And, also reflecting and understanding, yeah, my spirit was kind of ready to go anyway. Yeah, it's going to be refreshing to not have to be around this envious ass old woman. Women, um, feminine men. I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna keep it completely transparent, more than likely, there was already energies present that you've been tolerating long enough in this particular environment that your spirit was just fed up and ready for something different anyway, ready for a change, ready for something that's more in alignment with the frequency that you embody. Okay, where you can really focus on what you're doing and continue enjoying what you're doing. Okay? So yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Like, there was definitely something here in the recent past of people trying to create a hostile environment around something that you love doing or something that you're passionate about. Okay, because they was hoping that this would impact the quality of your work or your performance. Okay, so these things, there was things intentionally done, with the hopes that you would kind of slow down with how quick you were excelling somewhere, okay, or in a particular field, okay, whether this being connections as well. There's something about people just trying to slow down something that they felt like was just moving too fast, okay? Like, let's say somebody fell for you fast, okay? Things started moving with y'all fast. They were excited and thrilled, and they took this information to a particular person or group of people who felt challenged, who felt intimidated, who felt triggered by the change or the shift that this person was having, or by your impact on this person, okay, that they, maybe they desire this person's attention or reverence in that manner, but it's just not there because they don't embody that, it's they just don't. So people, somebody could have had, some fake friends, caught blocking and all type of shit, like, yeah. But I feel like that's like recent past energy. That's past energy. I feel like right now is more so like the conclusion of it. Like, that's what's going on right now. Like, the recent past was the cause. The causes took place, and now the effects are fully unraveling and stuff like that, which also include judgment, which also includes karma and balancing. Saturn energy, like, I'm picking up on Capricorn Saturn energy heavily. And Capricorn is also the paternal energy. It's like the father, right? It's the planet of discipline and structure and security and stability. And Saturn favors Libra because Libra is the scales of justice. It's about balance, right? So Libra is also like love and relationships and connections and beauty and luxury and loving, understanding, communication, whimsical energy, a free energy. Like, it's something about freedom. There's also something significant about freedom. Freedom, like a balance with structure and freedom, or just some type of connection there. Okay. And then you got the devil energy in the Capricorn. Yeah. Addictions, obsessions, um, bad habits, uh, super duper low vibrational feelings and or intentions, bad intentions. Um, you know, different things like that. You know, Spirit just showed me a plant. Um, and let's say like the leaves or one of the leaves went, it started to die or something like that. Spirit just showed me in an image of just snipping off the leaf, that particular dead leaf. So I feel like there's a pruning taking place. I feel like the divine is pruning the energy or pruning the world from, wasteful beings or people who are hell bent on trying to bind people who are doing everything in their power to free themselves from toxicity, and people who have a genuine desire to contribute some type of like happiness or aid or healing or assistance to the world, like people who are conscious about the kind of family that they want to create and legacy that they want to leave for themselves. People who are intentional about where they invest their energy and hoping that whatever they do, it's something of a noble impact. Like it's something of reverence, of honor that they get to associate themselves with. Right? So regardless of whatever career path or field that people are guided in, like for example, like let's say acting in movies and stuff like that, there's an energy of somebody who's just a very intentional person, or a producer, like regardless of what the career is, bro, it's about these people who are, they're divine, right? But they've experienced, come on, okay, boom. Another conversation I had with a client who is a mental health therapist. Boom. Y'all, some of y'all know that I have a degree in psychology and a minor in sociology. I have a lot of background experience in the psych field. Okay. So we had a very, very, very wholesome conversation, and a similar pattern that you would see. And I noticed this in school, like with classmates who were psych majors. A lot of us experienced some fuck shit growing up. And that's why we were psych majors. We became psych majors because we seen some fucked up shit. We experienced some fucked up shit. Okay. Um, like, ooh, I mean some hard, some tough stuff, because I feel like you have those people who experience that, and they become overwhelmed by it. They I'm sorry, like, but they become defeated by it. They kind of just give up and give in to addictions or unaliving themselves or whatever, right? Um and mind you, a lot of these people are under an illusion that um, the sweet talk and the charm of Satan to make them feel like this is a solution that's going to instantly make you feel better. Or, like these people are in a trance, when they're, when right when they're at the door of entering something that ends up overtaking them. That's literally how it is. It's this energy of being sweet enough, being believable enough, being kind, seeming enough to get you to cross that threshold. When you cross that threshold, all hell break loose. He just needed you to cross the threshold. So he gonna make it glitter. He gonna make it seem good as fuck to get you over that line. And when you over that line, it's like you kind of, like, it's free will. Like it's free game. That's the word. It's free game and free will. Your free will to cross the line, and free game to the demonic entities who are thirsty for a host, especially powerful host, okay, who has more access to divine opportunity, divine beings, divine doors, divine paths and ley lines, okay, who have certain akashic information in their spiritual DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, so now they're showing me slavery. They're showing me slavery. They're showing me a lineup. They're showing me like of the highest bidder, people bidding for the person with the best physique, the person with the best athleticism, the person who seems more fertile. You know, it's that's how demonic entities study us. That is how they view us. That is how they study us. And they lust. And it's also this bloodlust. They lust after, the best possible host who, even for a short moment, a brief moment, they make themselves accessible to be possessed by a demon. I'm going to have to do another um I think I'm gonna do another reading talking about when people do love spells, um, come to me spells, and things like that. Because you're actually so the person that you're focusing on, you're actually putting them up as a sacrifice. You're offering them up as a sacrifice against their free will. And unfortunately, if they are unaware of how to better protect themselves spiritually, like quicker, okay, because some of them they do come into it, but it's another thing if you lack wisdom and knowledge of the fact that this is a reality. Like, people play with witchcraft, people play with black magic to get what they want, to get their way. Like, pleasure seeking, people pleasure seek through black magic. And if you don't have any true knowledge or understanding of that, like, you still just got the basic units of knowledge to life or religion and spirituality, and you think this shit is bullshit. Well, as long as I don't believe in it, bitch, it's not about you believing in it. If the shit real is real. You know how many people don't believe in God, but God is still real? So just because you don't believe in witchcraft and black magic don't mean the shit not real. Don't mean your ass cannot be impacted by it negatively. Like, that is crazy to me. You still have to protect yourself spiritually. What the hell? It's the reason why God said pray without ceasing and be a fervent prayer. Just saying. Oh God. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to. You're being watched. You're always being watched. So what do you mean? Oh, I don't believe in that. So yeah, I ain't got to worry about that. You feel me? Because I don't believe in that, child. If I don't believe in it, it's not gonna manifest. What? That's delusion, and it's definitely insanity, even if subtle insanity. So yeah, at the end of the day, if that person is unaware, yes, they can be offered as that sacrifice. Okay, when somebody does a love spell on them, they can be offered up as a sacrifice because they're unaware. They're in this energy of spiritual naivety. Okay, they can be opening themselves up to that person that's casting the spell. Opening yourself up with the person that's casting the love spell on you. I don't even care if it's just a casual conversation. That is a welcome into your energetic field. So, in a way, it's received as permission. It's received as permission for this person to infuse something within your energy, period. So, if that person decides to do a love spell, come to me spell, lust spell, obsession spell over your dumb ass, and we just casually talking, I'm just venting, I'm just using this person to not think about somebody that I'd rather talk to not be accountable, with the person that I should be talking to. I'm just using this person. So you imagine somebody arrogantly, I'm just using this person, like, because I'm bored and shit. And, I don't want to face my responsibilities or apologize to the person that I fucked up with. So I'm just going to use this person because, it's kind of like a rebound energy. You feel me? Like, it's a distraction to a degree, to help me kind of cope. You feel me? Like, it's a coping mechanism type of situation. You've definitely accepted the offer for this person to do a love spell on. Yeah. What? So yes, they offer the person up as a sacrifice to these demons that is lustful for a host. And imagine you supposed to be a divine being. You are, oh my God. Okay. You are a divine being. And the reason why this feminine is even on you like that is because you're a divine being. Okay, it's about your energy. She's harvesting, she's thirsty to feed too, so desperately that she'll cast a love spell on you. That's how hungry they are. Okay, so that is so crazy. But the thing is, when they do that, when the person does grow up obsessed and attached, and they seem like they love them and they're there and stuff like that, it's not that person. It's not really that person. It's the demonic entity that's possessed them. Like, so it's kind of like a contract. Like, boom. All right. So let's say the mutual agreement is, okay, you get this person's body. So to everybody else, like to the normal world, okay, they may be shocked, like, damn, how the fuck was you able to get this person to be with your ass? Like, damn, like, that's crazy, but I guess he really in love with her. Like, I guess he really fucked with her. Like, damn, like, I know this person to be this way. I know this person to be that way. Like, it's shocking, it's surprising, but shit, I guess. I mean, to each their own. Like, hey, whatever. You know? Like, to the external world. But it's the reason why people always end up becoming tormented, harassed, and even fucking abused or murdered behind the scenes. You got this person's body, but you've conjured up a demonic spirit into that person's body. That's who you really with. So you with that person's flesh, their body, but spiritually, internally, you're with the demon. And so if this person, so someone may ask, well, if she casted the love spell, wouldn't she have already been in demonic energy? And what would a demon, why would a demon want to harass her and torment her and blah, 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 blah? Here's the difference. The difference is the woman who chooses to do the love spell, even if out of demonic energy, she still has an opportunity to choose otherwise. She still has life in her body. She's still alive compared to demons that are strictly bound to the spirit realm, and they have no vessel. They've lost their vessel. They don't have a vessel, okay, to do physical shit in. It's only but so much you can do. You get what I'm saying? Without a vessel, especially when it comes to a demonic energy that's so heavily in the flesh. Let's think about this. So heavily in the flesh. And that's why their spirit ended up where it ended when they lost that flesh suit. Exactly. So they're wanting to engage in the same or similar behaviors with the flesh, things that you can only feel with the flesh. Okay? So the contract is, all right, here's one of the hosts that's up for, you feel me, up for bidding, up for grabs. However, the contractual agreement is that this person has been offered up as a temporary sacrifice for a love spell, okay, for said individual. So you will have to abide by these particular rules in order to inhabit this host for, such and such amount of time. Also, this is the time duration you are likely to have in this particular vessel due to the contractual rules. Okay? But the perks are, hey, don't fret. The perks are, this individual is a highly desired individual in their community, in their world, in their realm. They're highly desired. This person has currently this person has all this money. This person has status. This person is highly attractive. This person can have their way with whomever. You can have, you know, plenty of sex and da 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 da, all this access to da da da. It's the same. It's the same tired as fucking PSA that Satan gave Jesus. I'll give you all these kingdoms and if you bow down to me. It's the same shit. The same shit get pitched to demons in the spirit realm that gets pitched to motherfuckers that's tempted to engage in demonic energy in this realm, in our worldly realm, right? So that's the contractual agreement. So that's why, yeah, that, you know, that demon, he has to abide by the rules in order to have that host. He has to. So it's going to look like the love spell is working. That person, they're going to be giving their attention to you. Da, 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 da. Now, mind you, while all this is happening, y'all, the person's actual spirit is still dwelling within them, right? So there's a lot of conflict. There is internal conflict that ends up happening. Okay. And that's why these women, these men, they have to continue putting blood in their food. They have to continue buying these spells. They have to continue, you know, writing this person's name in their drawers and on their feet, whatever the fuck. It's all type of shit people doing. All type of shit people are doing that can easily go unnoticed. But the reason why they have to keep up with it, because if they don't, it's going to wear off. It's going to wear off. So, man, they're giving me so much like insight about this. Like, y'all, it's sad. Like, it's really sad. Like, it's a joke. It's a game how they do this in the demonic spirit realm. Like, I'm telling you, y'all, like, it's literally the same as slavery. Like, it's like slavery. But it's people's like, bro, that is crazy as hell. Because yes, when you think about it, when you do a love spell, a come to me spell, or obsession spell on somebody, you're basically being like a slave master. You're being a panhandler. Like you're being a puppeteer. What the hell? Especially for those who have done this on several people. And you know what's fucked up? I know that's a rare situation. I know that's a rare situation to have done this on several people and gotten away with it. Now, I can see that being done to people who've kind of like, they're not really in on a divine path for real. They don't really have um uh a deep connection with the divine. I can see them being able to do that with hollow beings. But no, you're not going to have more than one chance to do that with somebody who's divine, somebody um who's put here for a divine mission, okay? Or you're trying to do that to somebody to pull them out of a divine union. No, you're not going to get too many, you know, no. Not no. It's not going to work like that. It's not gonna work like that because you still have to pay that debt, right? It's a contract on both ends, period. So there's cost, there's pay, there's debts that have to be met. Okay, so it's gonna always be extra complicated because it was unnatural. So it's kind of like the hidden fees type of concept, like with a lot of or like with drugs and shit, like prescription drugs and stuff, how they'll say all these positive effects and, you know, benefits, right? And then at the end they try to say the side effects, the shit that can fuck you up real fast and shit, you feel me, and keep it moving. Like that's how satanic energy be. That's how it be. And let's be real, how often do people read labels? How often do people read directions before they just dive into some shit? And when you desperate for something, shit, it can just be word of mouth. Somebody told you, "Oh yeah, girl, I did this," and or they see, let's say they got a friend, they see this person just being worship damn near by their man and like, dang, you got a good ass man and that girl, that's because I do this and once a week I put this in his food and blah 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 blah, blah. And I mean we was already together, we was already talking anyway, so that was just me healing our situation, girl. Like, you know, shit, just like you pray and stuff, like that's all it is, girl. That's all it is. Shit, he fuck you in anyway, like shit, like that's all it is. And some of these people haven't even fucked these people. But I'm just saying, like, that's just different examples, you know. And so it's presented like, oh, well, I mean, it's not so bad. I mean, this person knows that I like them, and, you know, yeah, you know, and I got their number, and I mean, we've texted and we've had conversations. So, I mean, it's not really that bad. It shouldn't really be a bad thing, right? Girl, shut your dumb ass up. I wanted to say that just in case she one of them type of, you know, is watching this. Shut your dumb ass up. But anyway, yeah. Um that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, but side effects. Somebody dealing with the side effects of some type of witchcraft that they've done right now. So shit, they can be anxious, angry, and dealing with addictions all at the same time. All at the same time. Even if that addiction still is them wanting to manipulate things using witchcraft, evil eye, ill wishing, whatever. Um, it's because they're not releasing this. Like, because they refuse to release that, like, I don't know, like the anger, the anxiety is increasing. Like, it's just causing everything else to decrease. So I just heard self-destruct. There's definitely some individuals in this self-destruct type energy. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. They're showing me what's the baby? Is it Jack? Jack? I don't remember the baby name off The Incredibles, y'all. Um but I feel like there was something about how he could get so upset or passionately fueled that he'll kind of just turn into like a fireball or something like that. Yeah, and something significant about that energy. Spirit is now also showing me like a blacksmith with creating swords and stuff, like using fire and different things like that. And I so what they're trying to okay, what God is trying to communicate through me is, right, there's two sides of how this energy manifests. So I feel like, again, whatever was provoking you, or however you were being provoked into anger, or wrath, or whatever the case may be, I feel like the way that it manifested, it also kind of helped burn away um burn away things that needed to be burned away about yourself also, because there's definitely an emphasis on how you look, you looking rejuvenated, looking replenished, um God giving you a new body. Like, it's just something about you looking like improved or coming out improved, even though inside you may be feeling like shit, or you was feeling like shit, bro, or you feel so deeply betrayed, and you know, whatever. But it's just your fire just burned differently. Your fire burned differently, expresses differently. um it changes you for the better. It changes you for the better. It has some positive change on others, okay, involved, and then negative, or destroys or completely eradicates those with ill intent. Yep. Hmm. I'm hearing Miley Cyrus. I came in like a wrecking ball. Oh my god. Yo, so but the what okay, why they showed me a wrecking ball in slow motion? And then it was coming from the sky. Um so you know like when it swings, there's something about a slow swing, like a slow swing, a slow but steady swing, almost like how the earth turns slow but steady type of thing. They're showing me a wrecking ball coming like that from the sky, and then suddenly out of nowhere, just boom, fucking some shit up. I feel like that's how the divine is coming through. I feel like that's how this judgment is hitting right now, bro. Like wreckage, like you know how this past year, 2 years, a past few years, the phrase crash out, crashing out has been like heavily like popularized. Um I don't who divine. I don't know if the divine said it or if the divine ancestor said that, but they basically was like they wanted you to crash out. They wanted to see you crash out. They wanted you to be a crash out. They wanted you to be a crash out. We just go, okay, well, shit. We just gonna bring the wrecking ball. Like we just gonna wreck they whole shit. These are even individuals who could have done some type of car accident magic as well. I've had that done to my oldest sibling, and it was attempted to be done to me before. Um, Unfortunately, my sibling did not survive that, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Y'all could have, if it did manifest, it could have been like something minor or something miraculous. Okay. Something either minor or something miraculous. Okay. Like it's either like it was supposed to hit harder than it did, or it hit harder but you weren't supposed to survive it. Okay. It was something like that. But like I said in the last reading I did, whatever intense emotions and feelings that these people intended for divine beings, they're going to have to feel that. And after I finished the video, you know what Spirit said? These people, they couldn't even be, bro, they can barely handle a small portion of the shit that they put you through in the first place. Let's say the level of feelings or whatever that was triggered within you due to these people's actions or non-action. They couldn't even bear that type of shit for real, like a small portion of it. So imagine having that energy returned and intensified. If you already can't handle like a small percentage of what the divine ones, the chosen ones, have had to walk through and overcome. But you know the difference? When you are with God, when you are in God, something or a storm that's supposed to wipe you out, okay, drown you, all that, you walking on water. You walking on it. A fire that's supposed to burn and destroy you, you walking out the fire unscathed. It was hot as hell. You was sweating. Your body temperature rose out of nowhere. You getting super hot. Like the last month, the past month, past few weeks, your body just hot. Your temperature is just super duper high. Like why the hell am I getting so hot? Your ass walking through that fire in the spirit realm and don't realize it. Okay. Having a guardian with you, walking with you, cloaking you, covering you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the difference. Now imagine them being in that fire, okay? Being in that storm, and they don't have no real protection. Because the only real protection is God. And you're not about to play God and finesse God and use him just when you need him and that's it. No, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna be out here on demon time. And then when some fuck shit going on, you think you gonna put on God like an armor real quick just to get you through the shit? No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Mm-mm. Especially if it's detected or indicated in your heart that it's not sincere. Like it's literally just some survival shit strictly and that's it. It's not genuine. It's not. You're not asking God to keep you safe from being malicious. You're not asking God to remove malicious energy from you. You're not taking preventative measures with God. You're not doing that. You're not praying preventative measures in the first place. So then when you do some fuck shit and you're in the heat of it, you want to pray for assistance, but you didn't pray for preventative measures within yourself and your character. But you think God just gonna let you use him like that? No, you gonna feel every bit of that storm. You gonna feel every bit of that fire. You gonna feel it. And it's gonna show on you too. You gonna get burned. Some of these people not gonna come out looking the same. Some of these people not gonna come out acting the same. And I'm not talking about no good way. And then some of these people are. Some of these people will change. Few, but shit. Mm-mm-mm. So um, anytime you find yourself experiencing a wave of emotions, because it's definitely been waves of emotions. When you find yourself in that wave, um, just flow, let it flow. Don't fight it, don't suppress it, don't repress it. Of course, have control and discipline, which you will only really have that like dealing with emotional warfare and psychological warfare. You will only truly have that with God. Okay, you will only have that with God, the divine angels, the divine ancestors, who are always with you, by the way. Okay, who are covering you. Um, but whenever you are experiencing those waves of emotions, just be, I'm here, be reminded that somebody else who betrayed you are dealing with more intense emotions during that moment, or they're about to. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I gotta do another reading. All right. Thank you guys. See you later.